As you probably already know, unless you've been either living under a rock or don't spend your whole time thinking about investing and index funds, Vanguard have increased their fees recently, and it's going to negatively impact those with less than £32,000 on their platform, and it disproportionately negatively impacts the smaller portfolios, because the less money you have on the platform, the higher relative percentage fee you'll pay, if that makes sense. I made a full video on this already. I ran through the maths of it, so click here if you want to watch that. But in this video, we're going to be going through what options you have for other platforms if you are negatively impacted and want to switch. I know the switching process is also a little bit fiddly and it can be confusing, so in this video we're also going to go through exactly how to switch from Vanguard to either Trading212 or InvestEngine. There you go. I've mentioned the two platforms. I'm going to mention in a minute. I've let the cat out of the bag already. And also number two, what other funds are available on these platforms, because unfortunately the FTSE Global All Cap isn't available on that many platforms. We're going to go through an equivalent fund that you can invest into if you still want to invest into a low-cost global fund. Also, I know the tank top is ropey. I've done it again, but it's literally 40 degrees. Look at this. 40 degrees in Melbourne. You can see here, well, I've been negatively impacted more than the Vanguard fee. The sun's been negatively impacting me recently. But yeah, that is why the tank top's back on. Also, look at that. Little bit of a subtle marketing there. I'm getting good at this. Look at this, it looks pretty cool. Might be the perfect stocking filler. Number one, who should you switch to? In the UK, we are spoilt for choice when it comes to investing platforms, which is both a good thing and a bad thing. It's great because there's so many platforms and each of them is slightly different and each of them has their own USP, but it's also slightly bad because there's the choice overload effect where there's so many options, we just can't pick one. But in my mind, there are two great platforms that come to mind if you are unfortunately going to move away from Vanguard. Just also to quickly be transparent, I personally will carry on using Vanguard. Fortunately, I've been investing on them for 6+ years and I have got more than 32K on the platform, so I wasn't impacted. I know people have been asking what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be sticking with them. But as I mentioned at the start, if you only have a few hundred or few £1,000s on the platform, really anything less than 10 grand, you're going to be disproportionately negatively affected because the £48 yearly fee is now going to be quite a high percentage relative of your total investments held on the platform. I won't go into all of that again. That's in my last YouTube video. But the two platforms I'm referring to that are good options to switch to are Trading212 and InvestEngine. You've probably heard these names before. They're pretty popular on social media and on YouTube, and there's a good reason why. Most importantly, they're both low fee. So they're both zero commission platforms, zero commission brokers, meaning they offer a 0% platform fee. That's really the main pull of them, the main benefit, and of course, lower fees, more money compounded in your pocket over the long term, but they are slightly different in what they offer in terms of investments and accounts. So firstly, Trading212, they offer both individual stocks and ETFs, whereas InvestEngine, they only offer ETFs. So if you want to invest into individual stocks, then Trading212 would be the no-brainer option. However, Trading212 only offer a stocks and shares ISA, whereas InvestEngine offer a stocks and shares ISA and a SIPP. So if you want to be using a SIPP, a pension, then InvestEngine is the no-brainer. So hopefully that helps, but I know a lot of people have a stocks and shares ISA and want to invest into low-cost ETFs, and really they both do that. So either option is a good choice, but then try and have a think maybe down the line, are you keen to invest in individual stocks in a couple of years? Maybe, then probably Trading212 is the better option because they offer that. Think down the line, are you going to open up a SIPP at some point? Then Trading212 don't have one, so InvestEngine would probably be the better option for that. But if you sort of adhere to the approach that I personally follow of just investing into low-cost passive ETFs, primarily global ETFs, then they're both good options. It is worth saying that Trading212 have been around for a lot longer. They've been around for 20+ years, whereas InvestEngine are a much more of a newer platform. So you can now hopefully see my screen. I'll leave this link down below. It is the Trading212 portfolio transfer page, and it gives you all the details on essentially how to transfer your portfolio from one provider, for example Vanguard, to Trading212. So before you actually initiate the transfer to Trading212, you will need to download the app. Once the app is then downloaded, you will open up a stocks and shares ISA. You'll see the 3 dots in the bottom right of the app. You'll then find portfolio transfers, and then as it shows on the screen, you find your old broker, Vanguard, select what ETFs to move over, and then boom, job done. And because you need to download the app first, if you are going to do it, I'll leave my referral link in the description down below and you can get yourself a free share, and I'll get one too. So thank you in advance for anyone that uses that. But if I scroll a little bit further down here, and you can read, I'll put the link in the description if you want to read the whole thing. I guess the most important things, are there any transfer fees? No, there's no transfer fees out of Vanguard, and there's also no transfer fees into Trading212, so there's no fees at all. But the main downside is, can I transfer cash as well as shares? No, you can only transfer the shares across, which means for a lot of people investing into the FTSE Global All Cap, the life strategy funds, the target date retirement funds, or essentially any fund that is available on Vanguard but isn't available on Trading212, you need to essentially sell that fund inside your ISA, and so you'll pay no tax obviously because it's inside your stocks and shares ISA. Buy an ETF that Trading212 offer, and there's going to be more on this later on in the video, and then you switch those units across. This is probably a good time to quickly point out that if you don't have that much invested into Vanguard, it almost certainly will be quicker to withdraw the money and just put it into another platform. The only thing to be aware of, if you've contributed that amount to Vanguard this year and you withdraw it and then put it into another ISA, you're essentially double contributing and using the double amount of your £20,000 ISA allowance. But if you've only got a little bit of money invested and you're nowhere near going to reach that £20,000 ISA allowance, then it's almost certainly easier to just withdraw and then put the money in the new platform. But the benefit of switching is, of course, the money retains its ISA status when you switch from one provider to the other, and it doesn't use up any of your currently ISA allowance. So those with bigger portfolios, or those who have used up a lot of their ISA allowance already in the current year, it's probably going to be better to switch the money across, although of course switching could take a few weeks. And to be honest with you, they might be absolutely swamped with requests, and it's Christmas, so it might take longer, I'm not sure. When I switched stocks and shares ISAs myself many years ago, it took about a month, so you got to allow probably a few weeks to a month, I reckon, for the switch to happen. It also says here once again, what type of instruments can I transfer? So it's just stocks and ETFs. Of course, Vanguard don't offer stocks, so if you've got ETFs like the VUSA, VUAG, VWRP, VWRL, then you can literally just move the units in those funds over to Trading212. The difficulty, of course, arises when you invest into other funds that Trading212 don't offer. You then need to switch those holdings into a fund that they do offer and then make the switch. It also says here, how long does it take to be completed? And of course, they're diplomatic and don't give a time frame, but hopefully it just take a month max. I'll leave this link down below if you want to read the full details. But yeah, Trading212, good platform, zero commission broker, offers stocks and ETFs. They're of course very low fee. They've been around for 20 plus years, so it's a good choice. And if you do sign up, I'll leave my referral link down below. So with InvestEngine and transferring our stocks and shares ISA, it's a similar process. I'll leave this link in the description as well, which is all the details. But it's very much, you need to first of all open up an InvestEngine account. And then once you've opened up an account, you open a stocks and shares ISA, and you can then essentially go to the settings and transfer a portfolio into InvestEngine. So whereas Trading212 only offer in-specie transfers, which essentially means the ETF shares or units move over, with InvestEngine it's a bit more flexible because you can also move the ETFs over, but if you don't hold the ETFs, you can move the cash over, which is something you obviously can't do on Trading212 because, as it says on their website, you can't move the cash over. So there's then this webpage I found as well, which I'll link in the description, but you can see if you want to transfer your ISA, you need to go to the ISA portfolio. So if you haven't created one, sign up to our platform, create a new ISA portfolio and leave it unfunded, and then you can initiate an ISA transfer. There is quite a helpful video on how to do it, but all you actually do is you type in essentially your account number on Vanguard, whether you're transferring all of your portfolio or part of it. I imagine it'd be all of it, and then they sort everything out for you. I believe if there's ETFs that are available on InvestEngine that you have on Vanguard, they'll move the ETF units or shares over. And if something isn't available, like the FTSE Global All Cap or the life strategy funds or the target date retirement funds, then they would sell, get the cash, and then move the cash over. Once again, and would you believe it, I've also got an InvestEngine referral link. So if you do want to sign up to InvestEngine, I'll leave this link in the description down below as well. And as it says on the page, you can get up to £100, which I think is a special offer they're doing at the moment. It used to be £50, but now because a lot of people are leaving from Vanguard, they're trying to attract new customers. So if you do switch to InvestEngine, you can get up to £100 by using the link that I'll leave in the description. And once again, thank you in advance, anyone that uses that link. But back to the actual InvestEngine page. It explains here, once again, you go to the ISA portfolio, select options, and then transfer an ISA, and then you fill out a few little questions, and then boom, that's it. It takes just a minute or so. And there's actually a useful YouTube video here on this webpage from InvestEngine, which shows you exactly how to do it. Now, obviously, InvestEngine also offer a SIPP. So once again, there's going to be a lot of links in the description, but I'll leave this link in the description which explains their SIPP. And if you scroll a bit further down, you can once again see that you can now actually transfer your Vanguard SIPP to InvestEngine. But the process works the exact same. You'll first of all download the InvestEngine app. So I'll leave my link in the description if you want to do that. You'll then create a SIPP portfolio rather than an ISA portfolio. You then once again go to options and then transfer personal pension, put in a few details, and I'll then move your ETFs or your cash from Vanguard over to InvestEngine. So I guess first of all, you need to settle on which platform you're going to pick. Trading212 or InvestEngine. It's worth saying there are also loads of other platforms available, but they're two good options. Pick one of those. Depending on which one you want to pick, I'll then leave all the links in the description so you can read the full details, and you ultimately then make the switch, and it only takes a few minutes. It's of course mental even making this video because I didn't think Vanguard would increase their fees, and I'd be telling people to potentially use other platforms, but it's taken us all by surprise. A very common question I've received over the last few days is the FTSE Global All Cap, of course, isn't available on InvestEngine or on Trading212 because they only offer ETFs. What is a similar fund? The short answer is the most similar fund that is an ETF that's from Vanguard is VWRP. That's the FTSE All World Accumulation Fund. The main difference is that it doesn't invest into small cap stocks. So to sort of go back a step, the FTSE Global All Cap invests into large, medium, and small cap stocks, so large, medium, and small size companies all around the world. The FTSE All World, on the other hand, only invests into large and medium sized companies all around the world. So the FTSE All World VWRP doesn't include small cap stocks. However, they only make up about 10% of the FTSE Global All Cap, so it's a relatively small amount, and the returns of the FTSE Global All Cap and the FTSE All World over the longer term are very similar. Just because the nature of small cap stocks, sometimes they outperform, sometimes they underperform, and the long-term averages, the FTSE All World and FTSE Global All Cap perform relatively the same over the longer term. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor, but that would be one option to look into if you're going to switch from Vanguard to one of these platforms, but you still want to have the global investment approach. Of course, both of these platforms also offer the S&P 500, VUAG, so if you're already using that on Vanguard's platform, you can just directly transfer the ETF shares or units to the new platform. It is also worth saying that Vanguard's platform only offer Vanguard index funds and ETFs, whereas Trading212 and InvestEngine offer hundreds, if not thousands, of different ETFs, so it can be a little bit overwhelming. Personally, I normally just stick with the Vanguard option as, although it's a bit ironic to say this, they're normally the lowest fee option. Another important point to make is if you're investing into Vanguard funds on other platforms, you're not impacted. Vanguard aren't increasing their fund fees, just their platform fee for investors that are using the platform. And of course, the fee increase doesn't impact managed ISAs if you're using one of those, or junior ISAs if you're using one of those. And I think that is everything. I think I've covered everything I wanted to in this video, mainly which platforms to switch to and which fund to use. It is worth saying though, if you really want to keep investing into the FTSE Global All Cap, I know I talk about that a lot, that's my only investment on Vanguard UK myself. If you really want to keep investing into the FTSE Global All Cap, but still want to switch platforms, these two platforms won't be good options for you. The two platforms that do offer it that you could look into are AJ Bell or Hargreaves Lansdown. AJ Bell are lower fee than Hargreaves Lansdown, but Hargreaves Lansdown offer more accounts and investments compared to AJ Bell. So there are another two platforms you can add to the homework list to look into. But of course, Trading212 and InvestEngine are lower fee than both of those options. But I thought I'd just mention that here at the end in case you really do want to keep the FTSE Global All Cap. Of course, you could just stick with Vanguard and use the sort of fee increase to motivate yourself to build up your portfolio even quicker. Realistically, when you get to 20-25K on Vanguard's platform, the marginal fee increase isn't actually that large, but I discussed all of this in the last video, so I'll leave that link in the description as well if you want to get the full details on Vanguard's fee increase. But yeah, bit of a longer video, but thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope it's been helpful. If you are going to switch provider, let me know. I'm interested to sort of hear what people are thinking. I know my last video on the Vanguard's fee increase got a lot of discussion and comments, so that was interesting to see. And yeah, if you are going to switch to InvestEngine or Trading212, you need to actually open up an account and download the app first. So if you are going to do that, make sure you use one of the referral links in the description and you get yourself a free share from Trading212 or some extra cash from InvestEngine. And once again, anyone that does use those, I really appreciate it in advance. Thanks for watching. Hope it's been helpful. Any questions, let me know in the comments and I'll see you in the next one. And obviously, yeah, sorry again about the dodgy tank top.